Hi John, I'm Sophie, and I'm an online student based down here in Sydney. I'm currently studying my Bachelor of Clinical Exercise Physiology. So I'm going to be sharing with you my thoughts on, how long-term exercise adherence can be helped by psychological intervention. So firstly, why exercise? Well, obviously, not only is it good for our physical health, but it's also, an amazing thing for our mental health. And I think it's obvious through, lots of research from the likes of the World Health Organization that we're currently, embarking upon a bit of an epidemic of ill health. And together with a more sedentary lifestyle, I guess we're now starting to see the consequences of that. For this essay, I really want to focus on a case population, and that case population for me is going to be looking at those with chronic illness. I think for this particular group of people, the importance of exercise, which can be used, as a form of medicine, in my opinion, will really help to see the benefits of, both the physical health and the mental health as well. And ultimately, that's to help improve their quality of life and their enjoyment. So the models that I want to look at in relation to this are both the trans-theoretical model, because I do believe that we need to adapt across the different action phases and the maintenance phases. And then once we're getting to those action and maintenance phases, I want to be looking at the social cognitive model, and then the self-determination theory. So looking a little bit deeper into what those actually mean in relation to the chronic illness population. Look, the trans-theoretical model is important because I really do believe we have to be adaptive at those different stages. The mindset of where we are when we're trying to, create a routine for what our exercise regime is going to be, but also really understanding, how am I going to overcome the barriers of exercise for this particular phase versus the maintenance phase, which is, how am I really going to get the enjoyment out of it? And I think we need to apply some different methodologies for each of those phases. So let's just talk about a little bit more about the action phase. So I really do think, for everybody it's about overcoming barriers, but for different people those barriers are going to be, of various different kinds. And for the chronically ill population, I really think this is about, getting into the state of mind that I can do this, I can do something. I'm not going to make myself worse by actually moving, even though it may be causing me a lot of pain. So, we really need to think about those areas of confidence and reassurance, and just creating some small wins and some small goals, which are not about competing with anyone, but just getting over that mindset of making sure that they feel that they can do something and that they want to continue doing something. So, that social cognitive model, I think, is perfect for this. So, really starting to build out that self-belief, the self-efficacy, creating controls, creating some small wins, and just, reassuring them about the capability and seeing the value of doing something. And those elements of confidence and self-efficacy are incredibly important when you have an illness, when you do get those flares, when you get those setbacks, that you have the confidence that, it is just a setback and that we need to bounce back and be able to come back and, and continue what we'd started. So for me, that's all about the action phase for the trans-theoretical model. And as we move into maintenance, once we've got that self-confidence and the belief that we actually can do something, then we move into the self-determination theory. And once we're kind of getting into the rhythm and we're actually doing something and moving, I think this is all about, doing things for the love of it, and avoiding boredom, making sure that we enjoy it. And it's about getting back to nature, getting back to fresh air for the chronically ill. It's those simple enjoyments sometimes when you've been set back by illness, and that you can finally start to exercise a little more. You've got that belief and that you just want to go out and enjoy it and feel normal. And I think that's kind of one of the key things here as part of this theory, is to really help people feel the benefits, feel the enjoyment, and really understand, that they can live a fulfilling life. So here it's not about, creating small goals, creating small wins. It's about maintaining that quality of life and finding the value of what they're doing, but using exercise to do that. So here, we're all about, building out those key elements of autonomy, competency, and relatedness, being out with people, enjoyment of what they're doing, and as I say, just getting back to feeling normal, and feeling the love of it. I think chronic illness is probably, a group of people who would really feel the benefits of the eudaimonic and flow aspects of self-determination theory. I think it has to be intrinsic. You have to feel the personal rewards of wanting to get out, and what that has on exercise adherence. I can speak from a bit of personal experience, and that you really do feel the benefits, and you have your own personal battles, which will never be someone that you want to compete with on a racetrack or on a basketball court or anything like that. But sometimes you just want to be able to go for a 5-kilometer walk out in the nature and not be completely fatigued of it by the end. That's the benefits of really feeling the flow, because you actually know how good it's going to make you feel, and you just want to keep doing more and more and more of it. And as part of that, you kind of get it out, and you have the mindfulness, you have the appreciation. So yeah, look, I mean, these are areas that I'm really, really interested to see, how we can use these psychological interventions to make sure that people who have been sick, who benefit probably some of the most from exercise, both mentally and physically, can really utilize, the simple things of life to actually really feel the benefits and want to do and continue more of that behavior. So yeah, just as a quick summary, I'll be focusing on the chronic illness population. I'm going to be using the trans-theoretical model across the both action and maintenance phases, and acknowledging that those different phases will require different models that can be used. So for action, it will be on the social cognitive model, creating small wins, control, and self-belief. Whereas the maintenance model is the self-determination theory, and looking specifically about, what are those personal needs, and the eudaimonics and the flow elements of that, to bring quality of life back to that chronic illness population. So thanks for listening. I hope that was clear. Your feedback is always welcome, and I look forward to doing and sharing my essay with you in the coming weeks. Take care.